there are great television characters. Then, there are great TV character rivalries. Here are 20 of the best TV character rivalries. Okay, maybe we're pushing the boundaries of the term rivalry. There really isn't anything cutthroat when it comes to the professional relationship between Janine, Quinta Brunson, the optimistic and determined young teacher, and Ava, Janelle James, the incompetent principal at Abbott Elementary. The latter picks on Janine and busts on her at any chance, but she might also be aware that Janine is one of the school's best teachers. And, it's teachers like her who actually make Ava look good, and even keep her job. So, maybe it's more about coexisting for the good of the students. You may also like the Essential Fleetwood Mac playlist. While Archie, Carol O'Connor, and son-in-law Michael, Rob Reiner, could not be more contrasting, they were both stubborn. Michael is progressive, well-educated, and confidently opinionated. Though, his attitude toward Gloria and the role of the wife seemed rather traditional and conservative. Of course, Archie argued at 2 speeds, loud and louder. His open bigotry and political incorrectness naturally clashed with Michael. Follow us on MSN to see more of our exclusive entertainment content. Things started out well for Walter, Bryan Cranston, and Gus, Giancarlo Esposito, owner of the popular fast food chain Los Palos Hermanos, at least from a business perspective. However, Walter, the cooker, became disenfranchised with the way Gus was running his meth business. Thus, leading Walter and Jesse, Aaron Paul, thinking they should terminate Gus, who actually always saw Walter as expendable, and Jesse the more loyal of the two. In the end, Walter and Jesse get what they want, and Gus is left with half of his face before dying. You may also like the 25 best Kirby video games. There was a time in the fictional 9-9 world that Holt, Andre Braugher, and Wunsch, Kyra Sedgwick, were work partners. Then Holt spurned a sexual advance by telling her he was gay, and Wunsch never got over the fact she looked bad in the process. Ever since, Wunsch tried to make Holt's life miserable by either moving up the NYPD pecking order faster than him, or making her former friend look bad at any chance. Holt, meanwhile, struggled to find 2 appropriate zingers to get back at Wunsch, but ultimately got the last laugh by the fact she died. Follow us on MSN to see more of our exclusive entertainment content. It's the rare male-female fictional rivalry where the combatants don't end up romantically coming together. Mimi, Kathy Kinney, did marry Drew's brother, however. The heavily made-up Mimi lived to make Drew's life hell. She constantly called him a pig, glued Drew's hand to a dirty magazine, and sent him off to China with only a troll doll. Drew had his moments, too, but Mimi usually held the upper hand. You may also like the 50 greatest Rolling Stones songs. In the annals of TV serial killers, Tyson, Michael Mosley, is among the best. He's meticulously evil. He covers his tracks quite well and gets into the head of Castle, Nathan Fillion, perhaps more than any other suspect in series history. The fun began when he took on an accomplice in plastic surgeon Dr. Kelly Neiman, Annie Wershing. Castle was able to outwit him in the end. Follow us on MSN to see more of our exclusive entertainment content. The various competitions amid the Bar Wars recurring storyline between Cheers and nearby Gary's Old Town Tavern were among the best Cheers moments. The pranks included the Cheers guys tapping into Gary's cable system to interrupt a big fight and Gary retaliating by shortening the bar stools at Sam Malone's place. Even when it seemed Cheers won, they found a way to defeat themselves, like depantsing Wade Boggs or believing Gary was dead. You may also like the 20 best songs about the music industry. In original form, the Karate Kid, Daniel, Ralph Macchio, and Johnny, William Zabka, were foes in a victim bully plot. All grown up within the Cobra Kai universe, that rivalry continued, with Johnny on the lower end of the socially and financially acceptable ladder. At times throughout the popular Netflix series, we've seen the two team up to better the youngsters in the show and question which one is actually the bad guy. Follow us on MSN to see more of our exclusive entertainment content. Can we say that the Hollywood TV catfight was perfected by Alexis, Joan Collins, and Crystal, Linda Evans? It seemed only a matter of time before Blake Carrington's current wife, Evans, and former spouse, Collins, would duke it out for the early 1980s primetime television audience to enjoy. When Crystal walked into the room with a shotgun to confront Alexis about her allegedly firing a gun toward the vicinity as she rode a horse, it was game on. We can't forget their infamous fight in the fountain pool. You may also like the 20 best songs with a city in their name. The playfully harsh and sarcastic banter between George, Sherman Hemsley, and Jefferson's maid Florence, Marla Gibbs, was one of the highlights of this classic comedy sitcom. George liked to boss Florence around, push her buttons, and rag on her cooking and cleaning. Not to be outdone, Florence was usually quick to burn George about his diminutive stature and lack of hair. Follow us on MSN to see more of our exclusive entertainment content. Max, Erica Alexander, is a strong-willed, highly opinionated lawyer. She's never been afraid to shut down or humble the wannabe smooth-talking stockbroker Kyle, T.C. Carson. The barbs they exchanged made for some of the best comedy on the long-running show. Their on-the-surface disdain for each other became more entertaining once they became on-again off-again lovers. You may also like 20 facts you may not know about The Mummy. Al, Ed O'Neill, and neighbor Marcy, Amanda Burse, despised each other, which made for great comedy when the two would come face-to-face to trade barbs. While we know how crass and insulting Al could be toward Marcy, she was more than ready to fire back. In fact, Marcy was more daunting than Al. That's saying something, considering throwing around insults is one of the only things that made him happy. Follow us on MSN to see more of our exclusive entertainment content. The dynamic between Jim, John Krasinski, and co-worker Dwight, Rainn Wilson, was highly entertaining. Jim pressed Dwight's buttons consistently. Dwight looked upon himself as an authority figure or narc within the Scranton branch of Dunder Mifflin, thus opening the door for Jim. That, in turn, allowed Jim to have some fun at the expense of his easily rattled foe. Some of Jim's better moments included putting Dwight's stuff in a vending machine or dressing up and acting like his rival. You may also like 20 songs you didn't know were written by other artists. Evil scientist Dr. Doofenshmirtz only wanted to take over the world, the tri-state area, to be more specific. Regardless of how many gadgets or lasers or bombs or other potentially world-altering devices he could create, Perry, aka Agent P, was there to thwart every effort, if Hines didn't self-sabotage his effort. Despite their entanglements, the two seemed to have mutual respect for the other in what could be described as a friendly rivalry. Follow us on MSN to see more of our exclusive entertainment content. Among the great animated rivalries, while E. Coyote's inability to catch the Roadrunner remains one of the great fails in television history. Knowing Roadrunner is too fast for the Coyote to catch on his own, the latter resorts to various goofy means to get the job done. It often involved a variety of ACME explosive products that ultimately backfired, pun intended, on the Coyote. You may also like the best covers of Bob Dylan songs. Fred, Red Fox, could be a curmudgeon, opinionated and quick with an insult, especially when it came to his sister-in-law Esther, LaWanda Page. However, Esther was not one for standing down when taking Fred down. She had no problem rapping him with her purse on several occasions. Poor Demond Wilson, always seemed to be in the middle of their many spats. Follow us on MSN to see more of our exclusive entertainment content. The initial social showdown came when Slater, Mario Lopez, transferred to Bayside and challenged Zach, Mark Paul Gosselaar, for the role of big man on campus. More specifically, the chiseled, athletically gifted Slater aimed for the affection of Kelly Kapowski, Tiffany Amber Thiessen, which was a problem for Zach. Both went to great and humorous lengths to attract Kelly. Once that feud was settled, the two revived the rivalry from time to time but ended up good friends for the most part. You may also like Axe to Grind, 25 famous guitars and their rock star owners. This rivalry goes back to the early moments of the series when the janitor, Neil Flynn, believed JD, Zach Braff, stuck a penny into a door jamb. Since then, the janitor seemed to do all he could to make the young doctor's life at Sacred Heart Hospital as uncomfortable as possible. While JD never purposely went out of his way to put the janitor in a precarious situation, things worked out that way. Follow us on MSN to see more of our exclusive entertainment content. It's uncertain what is really at the heart of Jerry's disdain for fellow building dweller Newman, Wayne Knight. The slacker mail carrier is an agitator, has a thing for Elaine, and tries to crawl under the skin of Jerry Seinfeld, at any chance. He left crumbled chunky wrappers under Jerry's couch, which drew fleas. He tattled on Jerry, who was making out with his date during a showing of Schindler's List. And he broke up with a woman Jerry began dating. You may also like the 25 Best Whodunit Films. Also known as the braless wonder, Sue Ellen, Brenda Strong, is an old high school nemesis of Elaine, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who continues to draw her wrath as an adult. Elaine can't stand the fact Sue Ellen does not like to wear a bra. Sue Ellen also invited Elaine to her wedding in India, where she found out Elaine had previously slept with her husband-to-be. Follow us on MSN to see more of our exclusive entertainment content. There is a complex backstory when it comes to the most recent antagonist that Jane, Millie Bobby Brown, has had to handle. However, these two have quite the backstory. It was her who sent Vecna, Jamie Campbell Bower, back into the Upside Down after realizing he killed his human family and was ready for more trouble. In Season 4, when it was time for the two square off, it was Eleven, whose psionic abilities proved to be stronger and keener than her older foe, who prevailed. Within the world of Stranger Things, this is a subtle rivalry, but one that was simmering below the surface for quite some time. You may also like 24 artists from popular bands whose solo careers flopped. Sibling rivalry is nothing new. But, during the 2020s, nobody is doing it better than the Roy children, who aim to take over the family business once their ailing father passes on. Kendall, Jeremy Strong, would appear to be the heir to Logan Roy's media conglomerate Waystar Royco. However, he has plenty of baggage, notably his issues with alcohol. Meanwhile, Roman, Kieran Culkin, is the most immature of the bunch, and it would seem a stretch he could be trusted with any serious decisions regarding the company. Finally, there is Siobhan, aka Shiv. Portrayed brilliantly by Sarah Snook, Shiv shunned a career in politics to join the family business. She's rather ruthless, but smart at the game. Though not without her flaws. Specifically, a penchant for cheating on her husband. No offense to oldest half-brother Connor, Alan Ruck, but his lack of interest in the company excludes him from our consideration. Follow us on MSN to see more of our exclusive entertainment content. There might not be a more celebrated and beloved animated rivalry than that of Tom Cat and Jerry Mouse. Since 1940, these two have been chasing each other around a house. Usually, the much larger yet seemingly less intelligent Tom tries to set Jerry up for failure in an attempt to capture him. Despite his size, Jerry regularly seems to outsmart Tom and foils his ill-conceived schemes. The pair have also enjoyed friendlier moments during the longtime television series, You May Also Like, The Biggest Acts, snubbed by the Country Music Hall of Fame. Negan, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, didn't pop up until after the halfway mark of the series' run. As the leader of the Saviors, he became the chief antagonist to series hero Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln. A confirmed psychopath with tyrannical tendencies, Negan can be completely ruthless, especially when wielding his barbed-wired bat known as Lucille. However, there is a certain amount of humanity displayed by Negan when entangled with Grimes. Follow us on MSN to see more of our exclusive entertainment content. Karen, Megan Mullally, could zing with the best in TV history. Yet, Beverly Leslie Jordan, could go toe-to-toe with Karen on about any occasion, and it was usually comedy gold when they did. Karen had plenty of rivals throughout both series runs, but Beverly, aka the seed of Chucky, tops the list. Had Karen, whom Beverly claims smelled like gin and regret, finally met her match? Did you enjoy this slideshow? Follow us on MSN to see more of our exclusive entertainment content.